Well, here it is, 2024, back in Iowa, 4 years after a successful hunt in 2020. And I'm going into one of the properties that I hunted then. Had some luck, passed a couple good bucks. Yeah, it's not quite season. It's the weekend before opener. And so I'm here. I made the drive down. I'm going to hit as many spots as I can through the weekend. Drop as many cams as I can. Try to get some intel going. It's hot. It's like 82 degrees right now. So I'm going to jump on the e-bike and run in to my first spot and get this show on the road. I'm good and sweaty. I'm back here on the end of this big long ridge, and there are scrapes already coming in on the field edge, and I didn't see too many scrapes on this ridge spine here, but they're in here. There's a big cedar bedding area just off the end of the ridge here, and they use that a lot. They use all this between the bedding area and that field out there, and this year it's corn. So I just put a mock scrape, drop the camera, and I'm good to go. I should have plenty of cellular service to this camera, so that's good. So I'm in this property where 4 years ago, in 2020, I killed my buck. So right now I just jumped off the field and I'm skirting the edge. I'm going to go all the way around it. And where I was then was at the far corner, kind of where it formed a really nice outside corner. The ridge was going down right there, and there was a couple scrapes in there. And I dropped the camera, and I got a lot of pictures of decent bucks. Nothing huge. I ended up killing the biggest buck that was in here that I had on camera anyway. But we'll go see if there's a sign there. If so, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to make a mock scrape, drop a cell cam, and see what we have in here. Let it cook for the next few weeks. Well, I found that spot on the outside corner of the field in the woods here, right before the ridge drops off, where I killed 4 years ago here in Iowa. The same old scrape is here. I don't think it's been used or anything, but this year, but it was last year, and it's still early right now. It's not even October, so I'm going to freshen this up, make a mock scrape, and move on to the next spot. It's September 29th, and I just wrapped up the weekend scouting mission here in Iowa. And I'm leaving feeling pretty good, I guess. I hit a handful of different properties. I dropped 7 different cameras, 5 of which were cell cams. All on what I think are pretty good spots. All the spots I think a guy could probably kill a buck in. if you just put your time in later on. But you know, I don't set those cameras there fully expecting on hunting where the camera is. I'm just trying to get a good read on what's in the area and what's using that particular part of that area. So sometimes I hunt where the camera is, roughly. Sometimes I don't, but this is just a good opportunity to inventory. So I think mission accomplished, and I feel pretty good about how it went, where the cameras are. The pictures are rolling in, all does and turkeys. It's been so darn hot that bucks just aren't really moving. So yeah, headed northbound, back home. First day in Iowa, 2024, October 25th. It's my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Angie. I've got corn up above me, up here. I've got a hay field down there, and I've got corn on the bottom. And I've got corn over here. So there's a lot of corn around here. And I'm just in kind of a spidered wood lot in between it all. So should be good. This had like probably a 2-year-old 8-point, maybe a 10. I didn't get a real good look at him. Come out of the bottom, come up the ridge, and then go along the top here. And then a few minutes later, 2 spikes did the same thing. So the deer are moving. That's 4 deer tonight so far. It's October 26th here in Iowa, 2024, and my second day here. I hunted yesterday afternoon, saw 4 young bucks out of this spot. I'm in here in the same place this morning because of northerly winds. What I really want to do is get 2 ridges over to what I call the east camera. And there's been a bunch of good bucks over there in and out, and especially last night. I do have 1 camera in between where I am now and that east camera. I call it the west camera. And 2 good bucks showed up there just a little bit ago.
6:30, I guess. One was a really good 11 or 12 pointer, probably $150, and one is a real beefy 8 that I probably wouldn't shoot at this point, but I think he's fairly mature. So 28 degrees, frosty morning this morning. It's going to be a good morning for a while. It's the morning of October 27th here in Iowa, and I slipped into this really good little corner of public, and what the deer are doing is they're spending the day on private, and they're slipping through this corner to get into the public for the evenings. There's a lot of corn here on the public, and I've been chasing this 6x5, or seeing him on camera. And he's really good. And I got set up this morning, well before dark, or before light. I hear a deer coming out of the public toward the private to work around this corner. It ends up 16 yards in front of me on the trail. I can tell. I see my red glow, my cell cam go off. He moves off, I check it. It's a 6x5. He was just 16 yards from me in the dark. So, I don't know. I'm sure he's well on his way, or probably in his bed right now, but maybe there's a chance he'll swing through again yet this morning. But I'll sit out this morning, then I gotta head home for a couple days and work, and then I'll be back. 3 days from now I'll be back here. So, Iowa, October 27. Just had my shooter 16 yards from me and I couldn't see him. But it's fun. by 5. I had him at 40 yards. And what happened was, after I saw him the first time up on that ridge, I think I got a little footage of him. He kind of moved off and disappeared, but I figured he's in the area because all those little bucks came in front of me then. So when those little bucks moved off, I tickled the antlers. And then right away, here he came, right to the top of that ridge. And he was looking down in here, and it's not thick. And that's what he was doing at 40 yards, staring down here looking for a deer or those bucks. And he was a little hinky, he got a little goofy, I had him at 40 yards, and I thought about trying the shot, but he was directly into the sun. I know that I would not have been able to see through my peep with that sun directly in line like that. I didn't even try it. Man. Makes me wonder if I should have not tried rattling. Maybe he would have wandered down here on his own and not been looking for bucks. Doggone it. Well, that was close. Close call, but no cigar. When he was walking away, I thought about grunting a little bit, but I'm like, he was waked out a little bit. I'm not going to add to that. I need to save this spot for when I come back in 3 days. Oh, that was close. That was close. Oh, man. Onward. Well, it's still November 1st here in Iowa, and it's 1:40. I just switched spots. I moved from not fully the other end, but partway to the other end, over to this corner where I got into the 5x6 Sunday, so 5 days ago. And he hasn't shown up here for a couple days, but this is his hangout. He goes through here frequently. And it's November 1st. He's going to do it in the daylight one of these times, so I'm going to give it a day or two here, see what happens before I jump around. I have good southerly winds, so this works for this spot. And I'll see what happens, but I'm going to hang here tonight, come back in the morning, see what happens. Hopefully I have him killed. If not, I'll figure out the next step, but the key is staying mobile. Not for the sake of staying mobile, but to move until you've zeroed in on the spot. And that spot's always changing too. So that's the trick of this craft. When I have it figured out, I'll let you know. Here in Iowa, the morning of November 2nd. back here in the 6x5 spot. I have not gotten any pictures of him in recent days. However, at about midnight last night, the big body 10 worked through. And so they're both around. I'm sure the 6x5's here somewhere. I'm in here after them. I'm going to stay all day. In the meantime, at like 5 this morning, a Magnum showed up at another property that I have a camera on. He's big. And I should probably make a play on him after today. And I probably will. The problem is, the weatherman's calling for rain for the next 3 days. Pretty good rain. So I'll have to see how that plays out. But I think at the very least, I'll run a set into that spot and check it out real quick. It's 5 in the morning, and I just hiked all the way up here. I'm about ready to dive in for the last 50 yards or so to my stand. I walked past a couple of deer on the way up here. They're on the other side of this top here, so that's good. It probably does. More does up here, the better. So I'm almost there. I'll check in when I get up and get settled. November 4th, the morning of, here in Iowa, and I'm here in the big buck spot hoping to get a daylight cruiser. It's 8:44, and I am tiring of this place. I've got Mongos in here on camera. All at night. I keep thinking that one of them will cruise through, or a new buck will cruise through, or a doe will walk through at least and maybe pull a buck. But there is just zero daylight movement up here. I think I'm gonna pull stakes here and move into a different spot, different property. So the evening's winding down, and it's been raining for the last hour. I had to have the camera covered up for quite a while, so kind of miserable. I'm not soaked through yet, but I'm getting damp, and the deer movement is not good. There's been one spike that's kind of cruised through, but that's it. I feel like I'm just jinxed or something here in the last few days. On the upside, James drove down to Kansas and crawled in a tree and shot a buck the first hour. So I wish him luck in finding it in It sounds like a good one. And that's what he wanted. He wanted to run over there, try to kill quick, and then get back here to Iowa. So I hope that works out for you, buddy. The rain's supposed to peter out here coming up soon in the next hour or so. Hopefully it'll get better, but as of now it's miserable. Speaking of miserable, it's November 5th, Election Day. And if the right person doesn't get elected, we're in for a rude awakening in this country. He needs to be voted in. Fellow Americans, let's do the right thing. Use some common sense. Keep America great. Because we have yet to see misery until the wrong person gets elected. Hopefully that doesn't happen and she's not a president. But I guess at the end of the day, the good Lord's steering this ship, and the book's already been written, and we know the ending.
This rain is killing me. I'm so annoyed right now. It was supposed to be done by 9 o'clock this morning. It's now noon. It's still a hard drizzle, light rain. All my stuff is still soaked from the morning. I did switch out outer gear, but that's in my pack, probably getting wet too.
Well, it's the morning of November 6th. The days are ticking by.
Want another one? Here you go. Here you go. Kitty, kitty, kitty.
This load gets heavier every year. Or I'm just getting older. Well, it's November 6th. It's 1:30. Finally got up to this ridge top. It was a heck of a climb. I got set up. Well, it took longer than I hoped, but I really took my time and worked out this ridge, I think. It's a big, long ridge, and it's fairly open up until about here. The ridge keeps going that way. Man, I bet 150 yards, maybe even more. And it gets thin. This ridge is getting thinner and thinner, and I'm at about a fairly good pinch point before it really bottlenecks down and keeps going out. And that thin point from where I'm at on looks like it's super thick. So I was looking for bedding thick on these ridge tops and specifically these points. This is it. As I was looking around, trying to sneak around, be real quiet, I did jump what I think was a doe. Might have been a little buck bedded right here. And I was just narrowing down on where I want to hang, so that just confirmed for me that this is the right spot. So long ridge, it narrows down a lot right here, and it gets thick, and it's still got at least 150 yards of bedding out on that ridge before it drops off. So a lot of sign, a lot of scrapes right in here. November 7th. I just got up here to the top, and I'm set up on this long thin ridge that gets thick out on the end, and it's bedding. There's some magnums in this area. I'm hoping to run across one. set up, and it's gray light right now, so I gotta get this done and be ready. It's the afternoon of November 7th here in Iowa, and I'm getting my butt kicked. Good morning. It's the morning of November 8th here in Iowa. And I'm in here in the big buck spot up on the ridge. This is where I got into that really good half rack last night. He wasn't broke off, he just didn't grow a big antler on the one side. He looked like a big broke off tree stub. He had a couple of things coming up, but the other side was a big frame 10. He wasn't heavy, he wasn't massive, but it was a good side. I would have shot him if I'd have got the chance. Closest he was 46 yards, and he's with a doe. She just wasn't moving, and so he wasn't either. And at one point I thought I was going to get a crack at him. A little buck came in between he and I, and he started up the ridge to meet him, which is going to give me a crack, but he aborted, and that little buck got downwind of me and took off. But that buck and doe stayed, that didn't bugger them. They just stayed down on the edge of the thick stuff there. So there's deer up here. I got a couple more pretty good bucks, one really good 8-point. trail camera not 100 yards from me on a scrape that I just dropped in yesterday. And so I have pretty good hopes for this morning on this ridge. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to make a midday move to the next ridge to the north. There's a knob out there next to private, and I'll finish out the night there, leave my set, and come back the next morning, tomorrow morning. That's the plan anyway. But I'm just hoping to get it done here this morning, right here. So I'm done. Right here. Alright. I'm gonna shut up here and try to find a deer before it finds me. Right there's one right now. Alright, here's a game plan. I just had a 140s class, 10 point, down there, lower on this ridge. That's where that shooter last night was too, with the doe. That's where it's thick. And I'm a little bit out of the game up here, I think. It's just 80, 90 yards down there. I think instead of going across the valley to the next ridge, I think I should probably sneak down, set up lower where those two shooters were, and other deer have been down there too. Versus going to that next ridge. There were squirrel hunters in this bottom this morning. It sounded like they might even be up on that ridge. So the downside is if that 10 point just bedded down there, which I couldn't tell, he was moving real slow, I'm gonna bump him. And I'm gonna miss out on him. But then I'm taking a gamble that that's just a natural travel way that I should sit the rest of tonight and all day tomorrow on, since two shooters kind of like that spot down there. I think that's the route I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna back up slow, move down there real slow, hoping to not bump him, but if he's bedded there, I'm gonna bump him. But it is what it is. At least I'll be set up down there. I'm a little out of the game here. That's the plan. Well, it is is 12:58, so 1 o'clock. I left, start packing up at 11. It's 1 o'clock now. It took me 2 hours to make this, 100-yard move. Crazy. But I'm here. I'm on the end of this little knob, this spur ridge that comes off the main ridge right before it drops off. And the two shooters I've seen last night and this morning were both on this knob. And it makes sense. Those deer love these little spur ridges, spur knobs, when they're traveling sideways on the hillside. Over here I got a really good scrape in the valley. And if a shooter comes onto this spot, I got him. Short of anything weird happening, which is kind of how my trip's been going. So, yeah. The afternoon of November 8th, Iowa. Alright, I gotta get this opener done quick. November 9th, the morning of November 9th in Iowa. I'm in this little spur ridge on this knob, and I just passed pretty good, like a 2-year-old 8. He was right in front of me rubbing. So, my last day hunting, I'm hoping to get it done this morning, but I'll check in here later. I gotta go. These deer are sneaking in on me.
Matt, Matt.
I'm not sure how much of that ended up on video, but I just drew on a, 125-inch 10-point, and he was right in on me, and I couldn't move to get my bow, and he kept busting me. Trying to get the camera on him. Finally, I started to get drawn, and right then he bolted and went up the hill. But I'm kind of glad that happened. He's not what I came for, but he's wide. So I'm glad that didn't work out.
Matt.
Oh my gosh, that was a stud. Stud. I don't know how the angle is. Oh my gosh.
Oh, he just came up. He come right at me. I couldn't move on him. Oh, finally, when I did get on him, got the camera going, he started to move quick. I had to try to stop him, and I think the angle looked okay. It's a little low, maybe. It might be just a gut shot or pure gut shot. I have to just leave it alone. All right. I don't know. I hope it's on video good so we can look at it. Oh my gosh, okay. It's 12:08 right now. I don't know. I don't know if that's purely a gut shot or if it's low, it is. If that's the case, I should probably, well, for sure I'm going to stay out right now. I'm going to walk up and check the camera. I'm going to walk up and see if the arrow made it through him. I don't know if it did or not. And get out of here. Got to go back to camp, look at it on the big screen. All right, I'm going to pack up right now and I'll go check out the arrow here. I don't see anything. Everything looks so different when you're down here too. All right. Well, back to the plan. Go pack up, head out, look at the footage back at camp.
Yeah, stick it there. I can see his hooves here. So here's his next hoof down here. See this here, guys? You can see his track the whole way.
All right, you take the lead, Jimmy. I'll back you up here.
I want to find just some blood.
Boom!
Let's get them fuckers split open. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Look at that guy.
Oh my.
Look at that cave.
That is all going on.
Look at that cave. I just want to look at him for a minute.
What a buck.
He smells like a buck. Thank you, guys.
Mike with the eyeball.
Yep.
I can't see blood and those looks are good.
That's why we bring them along. Oh. Man. You know, when he popped up the knob there,
Yep.
he was right, I mean, it seemed like he was at eye level, and he's right at me.
Yep.
And I was sitting there still, my bow was hung up behind me, it's straight up noon. Like, he's coming right at me, I can't do a thing. Let's hope he stops and rubs or something. Well, then he veered to the left with my right, and he just kind of kept on cruising. And then he kind of looked away, and I was able to kind of stand up and kind of go for my bow and start doing like my camera thing, but nothing was set up. And then he started coming this way to my right. And then I just had to move quick. I got the bow, put it in the sand, fired the camera up, got the camera pointed, hooked on, and then he started trotting. And I murped him as I drew. And he kind of stopped for a second, and I put it back there. But
It worked.
huh?
It worked.
Yeah.
Lethal.
What do you think? 100 yards? Not even, huh?
200.
You think?
Yep. I'll check my Onyx track. I started it right at the beginning.
Yeah.
I started at 30 yards in, so we'll see what Onyx says. But I think 200.
Hey, Greg, why did we come to Iowa?
Right here.
That's it,
This is
baby.
it. This is it.
Public land. Personal best, right?
I think, yeah. Yep. He's not a 160.
No. Nice buck though.
you guys. Mike wants us to film the slide hill we just did coming down that hill where that buck was laying. Buck was laying up there at that log. And slid him all the way down. How steep that is. What do you think, Mikey?
Get her out of here.
This is the way to do it. Have your buddies do all the work.